According to my opponent, he's this tournament's worst rock, paper, scissors player. According to him. But you know what? I think that's what the best rock, paper, scissors player would say. I'm in this guy's head. I'm all over this. Goes up on a loss. Stays on the loss. Goes back to the safety pick. It's more likely he'll do paper or rock here, so I'll just choose paper to be safe. Fucking bodied. I'm nuts. I'm crazy, dude. Psych 101 course comes in handy, man. 3-0, baby. Not even close, dude. They should have a rule where if you go 3-0 in the rock, paper, scissors, that's just an instant DQ. That's just the match won. That's what they should do, man. Reward the true games of skill. None of this card game bullshit. Alright, so this is Draven. Probably Draven Teemo. That's full burn with Decimate. Good old style full burn. I don't know, burn's so high, really. And that would make his last deck Garen with Rekindler Splash. I'm guessing 2 Rekindlers. And it's 1 Atrocity, no Rekindler. Spicy stuff. Spicy, spicy stuff. Extra spiders. Okay. So he's banning Draven Ezreal. I'm playing Garen Zed and Spiders. And I'm playing against Kinko Demacia. It's honestly a weird version of Demacia and Burn. I'll ban Kinko. I went into this strategy is blowing up in my face. When I play the the tournament 2 weeks from now, I know if you guys watch me play in these tournaments, all you guys done is heard me complain about like, oh god, this deck blows. Why am I such an idiot for taking this deck? I promise next tournament, the one 2 weeks from now, I'll actually prepare for that one more than literally, because these last 2 tournaments have been full last minute. Like I found out about them like 24 hours before they started, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll just throw some shit together. Because tournaments are hard. You can't just play ladder lists and expect them to work. It's very different. There's a whole strategy to constructing a lineup. So I promise next time, 2 weeks from now, I'll come a lot more prepared, and you guys won't have to endure me just complaining about having terrible sub-optimized lists. So he's saying he wants to go first in the first round, which means between Burn and Demacia, it is more likely to be Burn, which puts my best bet as, I see Spiders. I'm expecting Burn. We'll see. God, I'm in this guy's fucking head, dude. It's crazy!
Round 1, fight.
Crawling Sensation is honestly kind of sweet here. I don't know, some of the wide boards that actually kind of fucks up really bad. I'll keep a Crawling Sensation against Burn. I'll respect it. That's worth doing. Let me take the Burn deck. I've got to make sure I'm not doing anything weird. We're on a nut draw. 2 Omen Hawks is crazy good.
In position.
And he's on kind of an awkward one. This is like the worst one to have into Omen Hawk. This game basically couldn't be going better already. But it is Burn and they can do some spooky shit sometimes. So he's playing the version with Draven, Teemo, 3 Decimates. It feels just wrong to not horror here. I don't know, getting the Omen Hawk buffs early is like, there's some arguments to that.
I have my orders. No one's the wiser.
He's got to take an open attack here. Not a bad attack.
This'll shake him.
Especially if he's got Brothers Bond or something. No bond. He's not running Brothers Bond. Wow, he's running like actual full burn, like old style. Yeah, that one hurt. But I think we're pretty stable at 15 right now, so I feel pretty fine.
Prepared for anything.
Play any unit there. Single Omen Hawk on Elise is nutty enough.
I pull the string.
Our Thresh can kill any threat on 6, which is kind of nice. Very old style. Not attacking with Elise, just kind of generally speaking, feels like a throw. I think you just have to attack with Elise. It's just so fucking hard to not attack with Elise, man. I think it's just impossible. I think it's just straight up impossible. I don't think you can do it.
Get her out from the darkness.
He's got one good trade. Putting him on a bit of a clock is nice. It's obviously not like the most important thing here, but it's nice. So the crawling sensation will repopulate our board and leave room for Skitterer, which is kind of important. He's not in a position to open attack, I think. So we're gonna nut Skitterer here, and he can't flip the Timor or Puff Cap into us. Skitterer should kind of close it out. I mean, he just can't really attack here. Like, his attack is just too weak. And the +1/+1 Skitterer is nuts too. So it's like his Teemo has to Draven Axe to attack now, and he'll do that, and it's not that bad. But he's kind of on a pretty significant clock all of a sudden. Cask Salesman is all over his range. We haven't given him a good opportunity to Cask Salesman yet.
More for my collection.
So he's triple mushrooming here with the second Teemo in his hand, which gives him the double up on mushrooms. He's gonna put 30 mushrooms in our deck.
Ooh, quite a collection.
There's a pretty funny play where we take the Brood Awakening into the open attack. I mean, we have 2 Fearsomes that are unblockable. These would all go to 2 1s. I mean, we have a chance of effectively ending the game. It's like all of our spiders. So our horror buff is going away. Or Skitterer buff. So this is a 5 and these are all 2s. He'll block the 5 with the Draven. He'll tank the 4. This is going to go to 4. And then all the 2s. It's so much pressure. I mean, this game is just closing out now, right? I can't imagine not just doing this. I think I just have to do it. You don't gain anything by waiting. It's not... This matchup is going to end in like 2 turns. Like, if he kills us next turn... If he can't kill us in the next turn, we're going to win no matter what, I think. He has a lot of answers to an Iceborne. He's using like the old Static Shock version too. Okay, just open attack. He'll block the 5-1 with Draven. He can't block this 5, so that's 5 already. I think this attack, and the Teemo will probably go into the Hawk. I think that's fairly easy for him to do. He'll have one more attack with Teemo, I think, and that's gonna be bad for me. I don't think I can Iceborne here either, though. I think it's impossible.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
It kind of sucks that we didn't have enough board space for Thresh. The safety play, and I'm so ahead, I want to take the safe play here, is to kill the Teemo. But we were forced into Skitterer.
Now we're cooking.
God, is it possible it was a mistake to Crawling Sensation there? Because we did the Crawling Sensation, and then we did the Skitterer, and then he didn't attack. And then we couldn't have played Thresh because of that. Yeah, I think we might have actually been supposed to think that far ahead. That's a little crazy. So the axe comes in fairly big here. I don't know, I mean, he's gonna get like one more big double up.
My beautiful face.
His axe discarded Rummage. He's on 1 card. Static Shock is a big threat. The reason why Static Shock is a threat is if I Iceborne and he uses Static Shock, then that's like we're reducing damage for the the next turn, basically, right? Or sorry, the Nexus. So like if this gets hit with a Mystic Shot, I'm reasonably happy because that's like Nexus damage I don't take, right? That's a pretty big deal. So we'll do it now. And yeah, I mean, Blade's Edge is the counter. He can't Static Shock at 3 mana. If he Mystic Shots, I'm fairly happy. He's rummaging in, looking for a Blade's Edge or a Mystic Shot. I actually don't think you should Mystic Shot this. I think you just have to go for the one chance that you can kill me that fast. Top deck nuts is gonna be Vile Feast here. 10%, let's see it. If only we were that crazy. 2 shrooms. He's gonna get a big redouble. I mean, he basically just needs to get like a full shroom kill here, right? It's literally, the game's just gonna come down to how many mushrooms we draw. We're down to 10 off the Teemo, so he needs us to draw 10 mushrooms. He could decimate right now, and then we'd have to draw 6. I think, like, I mean, this is kind of hilarious. Even if his cards are pretty good cards, my odds are fairly good here.
I'll scout ahead. You roll this.
I mean, we're at 75.
First one's free.
Cask Salesman is fairly good. It's another 2 damage. So now we're just open attacking with everything. We drew 0 puff caps. Pretty anticlimactic. Should be closing it out, I'm thinking. I mean, the Teemo is obviously the most important. Just making sure that dies to something.
Fatality.
Okay. Clean one. I'm sorry I'm not doing those, like, I'm not doing the crazy streamer reactions. I'm not doing that like a Moz shit where you're like, you know, falling out of your chair and shit. I'm just like, I'm in like tournament mode.
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
So Artifact 2.0, huh?
Round 2. Fight.
Yep. I'll check it out. Could be quite interesting. I'm actually very curious to see what they're, you know, what they're doing with it. It's just like you keep Bannerman full mull. It's the easiest mull of my entire career. Pretty bad opener. Really just want to see the early drops. Opener improved quite a bit. See his. Okay. I feel decent all of a sudden. It's like we top decked a really good card and he didn't have his. And that's really big. Dude, this deck's win rate just like swings so much off of your opening draws. Like if you draw Fleet Feather and War Chefs, it's like you're fucking nuts, and if you don't, you fucking feel awful. Purify is good in mirror tech. It allows me to like beat a barrier at a lower cost of mana. Huh. Should I just kind of like tap that? Like tap the 2/3. That's gotta be worth it, right? So he'll play Bannerman. Okay, so he can open attack with Laurent being a 3/5, which doesn't really do much. He'll play Bannerman and then I'll play Bannerman. This is weird. I think it's better, right? I think it's probably worth just doing this. Okay. So his Bannerman odds are slightly better than mine, but they're both very close to 100, of course. Now, he apparently didn't draw his, or he's going for the slow play. Which makes me feel a bit ahead here.
Raise the banner. Lift our spirits.
Purify is sweet. Let me see how many. I need to pull up his list here. I actually haven't. I haven't been pulling up my last couple of opponents' lists on the side, which is like obviously really bad.
I've got your back.
I don't know. Tryharding is exhausting, guys. It's like you gotta really activate your brain. It's just not worth it.
Feel the sizzle. Run them through.
So he's running 1 Purify, 3 single combat, 1 atrocity. This looks like the easiest Purify of my career, I
Steel
think.
is yours.
It's just good value. That's a strange attack, wow.
Defend our banner.
So purifying that just keeps mine alive, damages his. It just has to be worth doing. The attack with the Bright Steel, I wonder about that. He's got his own Purify and it starts as a 3/3. That's fairly interesting. I think it might have been better for me to have blocked the War Chefs. He's only running 1 Purify, so it's kind of hard to put him on it. Swiftwing Lancer. I think it's fairly often for us to both Lancer here. attack. I mean, he can't Garen now, which is nice. Because you can't let your Garen die while you don't have the ability to shield it. This is an interesting play. That kind of seems like a misplay. I'm not sure why that wouldn't be, because he knows I'm attacking here, and he's giving me a higher health one to kill. I can't not attack there if he well, I guess I could burn his mana, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's fine. This Warchefs thing feels kind of scary. I kind of just want to kill the fucking Warchefs. That being said, I don't know. Oh, we do have Cytheria, and we have a challenger for later. As spooky, as spooky as Warchefs might be, it's like, I think I'm actually just fine chilling. I think I have to just be in chill mode here. So that trade is what we call in the industry a 4-for-1.
Brutality.
You don't really see those very often.
Been a long path to get here.
It's a shame we it's a shame that's a 7/7 repost can't kill it. And his is like a little bit bigger than mine, so like my Cytheria is no good. I guess my Cytheria can just eat his Warchefs and we can just tank it. I guess is just what you do, right? I mean, I'm trying to think of weird shit to do, but it's just kind of seems pretty easy.
Show them what we're made of.
It's Demacia, right? It's a 6/6. Doesn't his get the Warchefs buff? Am I
Batter him! No one
pretty sure it's a
goes hungry.
7/7?
Stand for what's right.
So I think I just tank 7. Health is a resource. It's kind of like, you know, it's a little awkward, but gotta be just ready to tank some damage here. Now the one problem with this is he does run the 1 atrocity version, and he is representing like, you know, sort of clunky, not really clunky, but definitely at least a little bit clunky hand, right? Open attacking with repost feels okay. Repost plus atrocity could actually kill us for 10 mana. That's pretty funny. I mean, obviously not this turn, but I'm talking about later. I feel like developing here is fine. Garen isn't really scary because he only has 2 mana, which means you can't really protect it. Now Garen's extremely likely here, but the thing is our Lorn Protege can threaten the Garen before I cast a spell, so it's like Warchef's it, Cytheria it, it's got 5 on the Garen, kills it, and then if he wants to do something like a single combat, then we can spell as a counter, which is pretty good. So Cytheria is going to give everything +1/+1, so it's like Cytheria Warchef's this, and then our guy will survive his and get a free kill. Now if I want to, I can think about repost as well. When he goes in for a block, I'll likely do some kind of trick. I'm either on single combat barrier or just repost. I think I'm ready for anything here.
Fall by my sword.
So, looks like we're both just barriering out here. Couldn't really make sense to do anything else, right? Just barrier and trade barriers down. Looks good. I can try to like kill this turn if I want to. I don't know what I'm afraid of. Clunked out hand this bad. Like this card, it's like what could this card be? It could just be some like generally clunky unit. I don't know. If this card is single combat, I feel pretty good because then he's just on pure top decks. And single combat's kind of the only thing that punishes me using single combat like this, I think. No, it's not like his attack is really very threatening either. You know what? Repost plus atrocity actually beats us. If we let him take an action, he goes to 8 mana +2. If his card is atrocity and if he top decks repost, we actually can't win. There's no way. I think I just single combat this. So if his card is single combat, he can punish us, but then he's on just raw top decks. The only way to counter this action is by single combat. And if we're in a reality where his card is single combat, then I feel very, very happy.
I long for a worthy opponent.
It seems pretty likely that we'll be able to get lethal on our next attack.
I will put you. Try me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just repost this. It's weird not to. Okay, so we know have perfect information. He has no hand, which is nice. It's kind of nice to just, you know, have the opponent have no hand. It's neat. Vanguard Sergeant was a pretty sweet find. We're pretty happy about that Sergeant. So I'm not sure what he could do here. It's gonna be pretty rough for him. Just got a little bit rougher.
Without a sound.
That's an oof.
Soldiers, to me!
Yeah, it's a tilt draw, honestly. Feels kind of bad to be like, you know, looking for it all game and then you just find it here. Okay, so that's the set. So we're now 5-0 in the tournament, and yeah, I guess we can draw the next one.
We march!
You are paused. There. Can't bite on an empty.
Can we draw the next one?
Fatality.
I guess it comes down to who we're against.
Only the worthy.
I wonder who else is going to be 5-0. Oops. Yeah, let me pull it up. Single combat on the war chefs to barrier the Cythria, so the war chefs dies instead of your Cythria post combat. You might be right. I think that might be a misplaced spot. I agree. There's definitely some arguments for the sequencing I made. It's generally a little risky to do things during combat because it enables your opponent to activate a higher range of counter responses. However, I don't think that generalization applies to this scenario. So I think that that's an argument that stands. Yes, I agree. I'm gonna go ahead and join the squad in voice.
Single combat, babies. Single combat.
Yo, Gummy, are you in your game?
No, I've lost, dude.
I fucking lost, Swim. Swim. Really, I won mine.
I'm 3. I just came 3 and I just. Ah, fuck, these fighters are good.
Yo, Hype, do you want to play some Scriblio?
Yes. What, is that even a question?
Yeah, dude, let's go. I had a lot of fun. We went 5-0, so we're gonna be top seeded into day 2. I don't know when that's gonna be tomorrow. Probably same time, 3 p.m. PST would be my guess. So it'll be fun, you know, playing that. We might be able to resubmit decks, so we'll see if if I end up like switching that up a bit. Not sure. But that's it for like Runeterra for today. I'm just gonna play a little Scriblio, which is just Pictionary, with, you know, my boys for just, you know, a few minutes before we head off. Just